Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man? First thing first, thank you for your love and your support. I highly appreciate it. Can't express it enough. Real talk, real shit. So first off, before I start this NFL documentary, let me give a shout out to my boy 8 with the 24. Much love and respect for you, man. I appreciate everything you done and everything you do. Okay, y'all. So in this documentary right here, I'm going to show y'all how NFL is rigged, y'all. Okay, in the part one documentary. Okay, it's a reason why the referee controls about 60% of the game, and the other players control about 40% of the game. But the other players who control the NFL game are handpicked. They built in labs, literally, like your boy Tom Brady. Okay, y'all ever watch a game and when the Seattle played the Patriots, and y'all like, why did Wilson throw the ball for 2 yards instead of having Marshawn Lynch run the ball for 2 yards? You see what I'm saying? He controlled that offense. Anybody in their right mind will run the ball because your chances of getting a yard and a half to score a touchdown or win the Super Bowl or throwing it don't make no sense at all. But things like that go over people's heads. Y'all ever watch the NFL and then y'all see the most unathletic player catch the ball mysteriously off his fingertips? That's almost impossible, but it can't happen, right? But we see it so much in the NFL for it to happen all the time, okay? Because it's fake, y'all. What they do is they give these players magnets, okay, on their gloves, okay? Therefore, when they throw the ball, y'all, okay, even when they do an interception, the opposing team magnets, the opposing team gloves have magnets to catch the ball, okay? So when they want the ball intercepted, the person that's going to intercept the ball has the magnets. The person who's going to receive the ball have the magnets on their hands, okay? This is why all they got to do is reach their arm out and the ball comes right on their hands, okay? And in this video, I'm going to do my best of showing y'all that. Okay, this is not a coincidence that these commercials that we watch can predict what Super Bowl teams are going to make it. It's not a coincidence we know what player going to win an MVP for the game. It's not a coincidence that Tom Brady is getting better and better and better every year. It's not a coincidence that there's people on the street that plays better than some of these NFL players, but they're not even on the NFL team. You know what I mean? That's because your favorite superstar like Tom Brady is not a real person. And when you watch interviews of him, you watching an actor play the role of him, not an actor playing the role of him in the field, okay? You have real people, okay, like us that's actually in the NFL, right? Because they need real people in there too, because they gotta make their story look real. But those real people always play 1 or 2 years and then they getting cut and never can get another NFL team again. It's like, how did you get cut all of a sudden? You get what I'm saying? Y'all got to understand this is all fake and it's all rigged. And I know it hurt a lot of people to understand the things that we love the most, we grew up watching the most, is all fake. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest, if not the biggest event of the year for America. And they make the most money. They make billions of dollars off commercials, billions of dollars off of food. Y'all, they make almost $250 million off of avocado just for the Super Bowl event alone. Okay, this is why they used to couldn't grow avocados all year in California. This is how we're getting avocados. It is really deep, y'all. Okay, it goes from avocados. That's how deep it is with this NFL stuff. Some things you wouldn't even never fathom. Okay, it's not a coincidence, like I said, that you can get the sorriest NFL team that can make a wild card and almost make it. Y'all look at these players and be like, these players are good, these players are great, and they're not good at all. Okay, you know how easy it is for a referee to stop the call, turnover, offensive play. Okay, this is what they do. Oh yeah, if you notice, there's players in the game that literally go around players with their arm. They go under their arms and pretend they try to tackle them and put their arm over their head to let the defender run. This is all rigged, y'all. Okay, and whenever a player, they don't let real people like me or you play the game so we can accidentally dictate what's going to happen. Okay, they don't do that. This is why they always on the bench, or they in there on sloppy time when the game is already over. And this is why they always cut the following year or cut the second year. It's not going to happen, okay? They are all in on it, man. With that said, man, much love and respect to everybody, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Have a good day.
I'm going to tell you what happened. You came here, and now you're going to play for a Super Bowl in your home stadium. I mean, couldn't have written it up any better. No. My final question, you said this week you didn't know what to expect when you came here. I'm going to tell you what happened. You came here, and now you're going to play for a Super Bowl in your home stadium. I mean, couldn't have written it up any better. No. everyone said they wanted to get back to the Super Bowl as well as you.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be a part of this team with this group of guys, this coaching staff. I mean, can't write the story any better. I'm at a loss for words. I mean, can't write the story any better. I mean, can't write the story any better.
I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this incredible video where the guy gives the thumbs up and then the defense player goes over his head. Alright, so it sounds to me like the offense controls the game and the defense obeys with the secret hand signals. So let's say that the Broncos, it's their turn to have the ball, Peyton Manning or whatever. Then certain hand signals, the Seattle defense would have to obey the hand signals, so whoever has the ball controls the plays. Now, Freemasonry was started by Nimrod, the Tower of Babel and all that, and they had this incredible system where communicating without speaking, through signs and symbols and all that. And it does make me wonder if that's exactly how they communicate with the secret rigging. So imagine the defense and offense is lined up, and let's say these players are holding up a 4 or 3, a 4-1, or certain hand signals. The defense would know if they are to give the player room to catch the ball. A certain hand signal would mean a no gain on the play. Some hand signal could mean we only allow 5 yards. Now I want you to check out some of these pictures where they flash certain hand signals, which kind of makes you wonder. Now, unfortunately, you can't really see their hand signals or signs on television because they're too far away. You would actually need to go to some of these games with binoculars to really watch their hands during live games to see the guys holding up a 2 on one hand and a 3 on the other. A 3-1, a 4-2, and etc. I think we all know exactly what this hand symbol is, don't we? Cheese ball. Look at this puppet. He is owned. He is owned by the NFL. Now, my favorite one, the one that red flags go up, is this player right here is looking at his hand. He's not looking at the ball. He is literally looking at the hand signal or sign, and you can see that this is a obvious secret hand sign or symbol. You see this, how the pinky is pushed up against the ring finger. I mean, there's definitely something going on here. But anyway, that's my theory. I believe there is secret hand signs to communicate to the defense that you are to give the receiver room to catch a ball, or it is a no gain play, which means you need to break through the line and tackle the running back or whatever. I mean, there could be 15 or 16 different secret hand signs or symbols, and they have perfected a system without speaking, without communication. They know what the next play, or what they're supposed to accomplish on 3 and out or whatever. It's all entertainment. It is a multi-billion-dollar controlled entertainment business. It is fun to speculate on how a more in-depth understanding on how they secretly communicate with each other. And it is most likely secret hand signs and symbols.
4 overall back in 09. Curry with a nice play. They blitz the safety on that play as well. No place for Bradford. Checks it down. What a catch. He can still lunge forward. I don't know that Amendola realized that at first, but he lunges forward. Let's see where they mark it.
Watch Danny Amendola. What a terrific catch. He works against Lofa Tatupa, stays alive, and look at the concentration bringing that football in.
That'll make some highlight films.
Absolutely. That's as good as it gets.
That's amazing. Amendola.
Shotgun. Murray out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray heaves it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic. Defenders in the area, and DeAndre Hopkins is the man who comes away with it.
Brady off the fake. Plenty of time. To the end zone. Godwin touchdown. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Third of the day to a third different receiver.
Just stop it. Look at this catch by Chris Godwin. First, the fake by Tom Brady. Watch him run this fake out, okay? Now he's just going to sit back. Now watch the catch right here. He just drives the football, one hand. Chris Godwin, just throw it out there. Throw that right mid out there. Bring it into your body. What a catch. And you could see the excitement between Brady and between Godwin.
Really wants as a part of his game. We saw that against the Jets last week.
3rd and 8. Carr looking for it all. The rainbow. Oh, it's snared for the interception by Kenny Moore. Fantastic defensive play. Waller the intended target, and this time Moore wins the battle.
So last week he snatches one from Brandon Cooks of Houston for an interception. This time he goes with the one-handed catch that has been made famous by these receivers in the league to take it from Darren Waller.
Kenny Moore, that.
I'm Cohen Leffler with the Minnesota Vikings. This is the ultimate reception. Now every kid can catch like a pro. Come take a look.
Ultimate Reception features a patent-pending magnetic grip system that literally makes the ball stick to your hand. And with the smallest, strongest magnets in the world on your side, it usually only takes one hand.
So what do you think about the Ultimate Reception?
It's amazing. You can't even drop it with the gloves. Make a lot of catches you weren't allowed to make without the gloves. It's pretty awesome.
So how easy did it make it catch it in one hand?
Just take your glove out, put it in the ball. Sticks to it.
Good deal.
Using a low-frequency transmitter that is integrated into the football.
This is the rechargeable battery for the device. And then here's the actual transmitter. This is the on-off switch so we can turn it off. These are the two wires from the antenna coming up into the transmitter.
And here's the key. The transmitter creates a current in the wire, which turns the ball into a pretty simple electromagnet. This time-lapse video shows how it's all put together. The ball is deflated and unlaced. The bladder is removed, and then a wire is wrapped around the bladder several times. The bladder is put back into the football, and then the antenna and the transmitter are epoxied together to make them more durable. Everything is then packed back into the football, which is laced back up and then reinflated. The weight is within the standard deviation of accepted professional football weights. The ball is carefully balanced.
If you think about a science experiment you might have done in school where you wrapped a coil of wire and then connected the coil of wire to a battery and then looked at what happened to a compass, you're measuring the same sorts of things that you did with the iron filings and the permanent magnet. In one case, it's a permanent magnet. The other case, it's created by the currents, but the fields are very similar. And effectively, what we're doing is we're taking the football and turning it into a magnet.
Alright, now you all definitely have to check out this video. I stumbled upon it a few hours ago. It's called Proof NFL Rigged Super Bowl 54. And basically he goes over and talks about an official NFL picture that was released around Christmas time. And it obviously shows what two teams were scheduled to go to the Super Bowl the entire time. You'll notice that the Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not even in the picture for some reason. But this 49ers player right here, you can see 85 and 15. Well, 85 plus 15 is 100. And we know this is the 100th year of the NFL. But basically what he's trying to say is these two dogs could symbolize 2 Super Bowl rings. Check this out. If Andy Reid wins this Super Bowl, it will be his 2nd Super Bowl ring, his 222nd career win, and will happen on 2/2/2020. And I did notice this dog over here by the 49ers, he has a ribbon or a collar. His dog is definitely different from these other two. Now, it is definitely a clash between the Simpsons revealing the 49ers at a Super Bowl in Miami and all this. So we're definitely going to need some smart people to check out this official NFL picture, see what you can come up with. I am still pretty much convinced that the 49ers are scheduled to win this Super Bowl. They have more powerful occultic numbers leaning towards them than Andy Reid picks up his 2nd ring and 222 and all that. Because if the 49ers win, it's going to be their 6th Super Bowl like franchise win. And you know, the Niners, the devil's number is 9. If you study the occult, the devil's number is 9. This is Super Bowl 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. So, see, the problem I have, I'm kind of scared or concerned to put money on this team because of this picture. So I don't know if maybe we can figure out what some of these things symbolize or whatever. But definitely want to check out this video. Go to YouTube, type in Proof NFL Rigged Super Bowl 54. And if you've not seen this video, you definitely want to check it out. The person that made this video, he definitely knows his number codes, you know, that are linked to a lot of sports games and how the occult works with its rigged sports and all that. But anyway, if anybody comes up with anything good, definitely want to leave a comment under the video. We definitely want to try to figure this out. Now here's something interesting about Tom Brady. Now I heard several years ago in the conspiracy community, they believe that whenever the elite reveal or show commercials of a celebrity with multiple versions, you know, kind of like clones, they're actually revealing that this is a clone. Like, if you look at pictures of Tom Brady, it is like there are several versions of this guy. I've seen pictures over the years where it's just like a tiny bit difference from one picture to the other. But I believe that there are multiple versions of Tom Brady. Basically, Tom Brady is, well, he was created and controlled and owned by the power elite. How many of you remember that movie, The Sixth Day, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they actually reveal the cloning centers, and they almost make like inside jokes where they can just kill any football player and have them replaced? And it really makes you wonder, you know, Tom Brady's background, his childhood. Do you know anyone, have you ever seen any interview where, you know, someone grew up with Tom Brady and he picked on them in high school, or he was a close friend, or they played on the playground together? No, there are no stories. So it kind of makes you wonder if he was, you know, created in a cloning center. You know, maybe he has a microprocessor built into his brain, you know, like biometrics, you know, who knows? I know he isn't aging very fast now, is he? Kind of strange, huh? Anyway, I just want to point that out, that yes, Tom Brady is most likely a clone. There's probably multiple versions of him. Let's say he got into a motorcycle accident and messed up his leg and is 3 days away from the big Super Bowl, or, you know, some big game that the elite, they have to have him win. Well, they probably have several versions of him, you know, to go in and replace if the real Tom Brady ever got injured. But anyway, yeah, I do believe that he really is a clone or a manufactured product. But anyway, if anyone's got any good words of wisdom or knowledge, just leave a comment under the video.
Cody Parkey hits. And the extra point. That's 2 now. 41 yards away. And that toward the upright. Unbelievable. Can you?
So Cody Parkey of the Chicago Bears hits the uprights 4 times in the same game. What are the odds of that? What are the odds? You know, the question is, did he do it on purpose? And the response, oh, no one could do that. No one's that good. Is that true? Is no one that good, really? Is it possible that maybe he is that good? That he can just hit it whenever he wants, perhaps. And then, of course, a week later, after the game, the highlights we were just looking at, he hits the upright again against the Vikings. And then, of course, tonight in the playoffs, he does it again. He actually hits the crossbar twice in one kick. Is he that good? Can somebody actually do that? No, it could never happen. I'm not so sure anymore. You know, I have long suspected the NFL as being not quite what it appears to be. And this is difficult for me to say, to admit. You know, I used to be a huge NFL fan. I'd watch, you know, the games all day. I had the NFL package on DirecTV. Watch every game in a couple different fantasy football leagues. What a total waste of time. But I was hooked. I loved it. And then over the years, I've kind of gotten away from it. And I still follow one team. And that'll be the only game I'll watch. And if they don't play well, if they're not winning, I'll just turn it off. But it just seems to me, at least since I've been paying attention over the last 4, 5, 6 years, it's just become too sensational. It's too much. There's something going on here, and it's beyond, you know, let's pay off a couple players and a few refs and tilt the game this way or that way. I mean, I'm sure that's been going on, considering the amount of money that's being bet in Vegas. But, you know, I mean, these people, they control these industries, boxing, whatnot, Don King, you know. Nothing is as it appears. But I just cannot help but wonder, based on the level of play, if something more isn't going on here. I mean, if you consider these professional athletes, and let's face it, you know, football players and perhaps basketball players too on the professional level, these are, you know, to say that they're professional athletes doesn't really do that justice. I mean, the level of talent, or I should say the separation between your average athlete and a professional player is just, it's beyond measure. These guys are like machines, you might say. The speed, the power, the strength, all of that. It's extreme. And I'm starting to suspect that it's even beyond what we think or what it appears. Because every now and again something happens and it's just too much. It's sort of like, well, let's put it this way. For me, everything is scripted. Not just sports, but politics, everything on TV. All right, let's just put it that way. Anything that you see on TV, for the most part, is scripted. The entertainment industry, all of it. And so, you know, that would include professional sports as well. And I sometimes wonder if maybe these athletes, maybe they're far beyond. Maybe their level of talent is far beyond what anyone could even comprehend. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. A few of them even. You know, it would be sort of like Superman becoming an NFL player. And, you know, portraying himself as just a human being with no special abilities, just a really good athlete. So while he was playing, he was really just acting. And of course, you know, the professionals around him are, you know, their talent is insignificant. And so he can just sort of play at whatever level he wants. You know, today I'll be the second best guy on the field. Next week I'll make some mistakes and I'll not do well. And then the following week after that, I'll be the best guy out there. And then, you know, I'll be the best guy for the remainder of the year and be the MVP. all the while only playing at, let's say, just a fraction of his potential. And that, to me, is really the only explanation for some of the things that I'm seeing. Now, to go back to what I was saying about how everything is scripted, everything is sort of like, almost like a reality show, whether it's politics. It seems that the system is always exposing itself. Like, if you watch any of these major events, not sports related, but like, these horrific stories, I don't want to get into them, but there's always so much like nonsense that sort of like spills out, these ridiculous eyewitnesses, these things that make no sense, people getting in front of the microphone and just laughing and laughing, and then they, put on the act of crying because their loved ones have been slaughtered. All of that is done on purpose. It's not like you caught them at a bad moment. All this stuff is scripted. And to me, these things are clues that they're put out there on purpose to sort of admit to everybody what's really going on. Like, the system has to expose itself, very obviously, so the people, the flesh and blood people, whatever, are able, if they're paying attention, to see right through it all. It's sort of like some sort of cosmic karma, where these hijackers of reality, we would be at their mercy if they didn't have to play by any rules, right? We'd all be dead or enslaved by now in a dungeon, whatever. These evil spirits, whatever they are, would have their way. But obviously they're not in charge because they have to like give out clues and basically blow the whistle on themselves all the time. And so here we have a guy, he comes in and he kicks the football and he hits the upright 4 times in the same game. What is your threshold for, acknowledging something strange? Would he have to do it 5 times or 6 times? I bet if he came in next year and he hits 10 times in one game, no one would raise an eyebrow. They'd simply go, oh my God, what are the odds? If you did it 15 times or 20 times, probably every game, everyone would probably react the exact same way. Maybe a few people would take notice and start asking questions. And so I just cannot help but think that he hits the crossbar because he wanted to hit the crossbar. And it's more than just some sort of like, the mafia has their guy in there to tilt the odds and whatnot. I've seen too many videos lately over the last, couple months that, have pretty much convinced me that the Patriots are going to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl. This sort of like keeps the Nick Foles story going. There's got to be a team within each decade that wins at least 3 Super Bowls. The Patriots have won 2 this decade. So they have to win 1 more to keep that streak going. And so when the Bears got the ball back at the end of the game and they were getting ready to kick the field goal, I should have made a bet. I knew he was going to miss. I mean, it was like I was certain because I've sort of been following this theme, this conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, that the Eagles will go to the Super Bowl, but they'll lose this year. So I knew the Eagles had to win. But what are the odds that this guy would hit the crossbar twice on the same kick? At the end of the game, everyone hanging on the edge of their seat. The kicker gets up there with a history over the last month of just hitting the crossbar, and he does it again. And, the spectators couldn't go away more fulfilled. Yeah, they're disappointed. Most of the Bears fans, obviously, they're upset going out, leaving the stadium. But, they got their money's worth of excitement and suspense and whatever else. So that's how I see it. I hate to even have this conversation. You didn't think I was a lunatic before. You certainly think so now. But I've just seen too much over the last couple years. And I think something much deeper is going on than just a few people paid off and a couple refs or whatnot. There's something much, much, much bigger going on. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. Maybe there's somebody else out there. Maybe there's one other person that could engage a conspiracy theory so ridiculously ridiculous.
He's named what? Yeah, that's right. There are some NFL players that don't use their actual names.
Julio Jones was born Quintorris Lopez Jones on February 3rd, 1989.
NFL players have a way of becoming household names. After all, every weekend they enter our TV screens and put on entertaining performances that we all love to watch. But some of the players, even the most popular guys in the league, who are in the NFL nowadays may not be exactly who they appear. There are a number of them who aren't even using their real names. Some guys use their middle names instead of a first name for whatever reason. Then there are other players that have names that have seemingly spawned out of nowhere. I'm looking at you, Eli Manning. Or should I say, Alicia? Anyway, let's have a look at 12 current NFL players who have jumped ship on their given names and taken a whole new identity. Julio was born out of Quintorris Lopez Jones, but there are probably very few people out there who know him as that, or reference him by that name. That's because he has been Julio for pretty much as long as he has been in the public spotlight, which is a long time, considering the fact that he practically reached urban mythological status for his insane athleticism while growing up in Foley, Alabama. In fact, the name dates all the way back to the 7th grade, when his loving mother, who has an extravagant name herself, Queen Marvin, gave him the nickname. It was especially peculiar because Julio was historically a Latino name, a heritage that Jones apparently does not have an ounce of blood from. But nevertheless, she slapped it on him, and it just sort of stuck. And if you ask me, I think it was a good thing for the star wide receiver. He has come out publicly and said that he does not like his birth name, as it means gladiator. But I do have this sinking suspicion that touchdown Quintorris Lopez Jones does not have quite the ring to it that Julio Jones does. Julio, if that's what we're gonna call him by, is not the only star wide receiver in the league who goes by a moniker that is seemingly completely unrelated to their given name. Not by a long shot. Just ask T.Y. Hilton, Deebo Samuel, and Juju Smith-Schuster. I am partially convinced that part of being a great wide receiver is going by one of these crazy pseudonyms. Just like touchdown Quintorris sounds funny to the ear, so does Eugene Marquise Hilton scores. But that's exactly what you would hear if T.Y. went by his real name. Yeah, you got that right. T.Y. Hilton's real name is Eugene Marquise. For those keeping score at home, no, there is clearly not a T or Y in that name. What's interesting about Hilton, though, is that for a little while no one really knew the backstory to him going by T.Y. That was until Mike Bees, a reporter from The Republic, an area paper in Columbus, Indiana, caught up with Hilton after he had delivered a key performance during his rookie season in 2012. When prompted, Hilton explained, "My daddy's name is Tyrone. So ever since I was little, everyone has just used the first 2 letters of that." Regarding the periods in TY and their origin story, Hilton himself apparently did not have a clue. He conjectured that at some point either Tyrone or his mom Cora figured it was a nice accent to the name and threw him in there. Then you have Juju Smith-Schuster, who you may or may not know was born with the simplest given name of all time, John Smith. Yeah, apparently he was not John for long though. Reporters say that he had an aunt who, when Juju was just 6 months old, started calling him Choo Choo because he used to play with toy trains a lot.
You choose me?
And that sort of just melted into Juju. Juju, however, was born long before his hyphenated surname was. For the first 18 years of his life, Juju only had one last name, Smith. And while he always wanted to change his name to Schuster, his stepfather's last name, his biological father would not allow him to do so. But once he turned 18, Juju was free to do what he wanted. And thus Juju Smith-Schuster was born, and the jobs of announcers all over the country immediately became just a little bit more challenging, including mine. I've gotten better at it, but it's still hard to say. Deebo Samuel, on the other hand, well, that's not a fairly heirloom in the way that TY was. Nor does it have any sort of phonetic relationship to his nickname the way Juju took the soft J sound from John for his nickname. The 49ers' second-round draft pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, Deebo Samuel, was actually born Tyshawn Samuel.
What is your birth given name?
Tyshawn Samuel.
What is the name that you go by?
Deebo. When I was like 9, 10 years old, he was like, you know you're named after a bully in a movie.
Deebo was the neighborhood bully from the 1995 movie Friday, which Samuel said he has watched upwards of 1,000 plus times.
Deebo! That's messed up. Won't you give him back his chain?
What chain?
Yeah, what chain?
He continued to explain that at pretty much every stop along the way growing up, especially high school to college, he thought that Deebo was going to go away and that people would start calling him by his birth name, Tyshawn. But that moment never came.
When I was 12 years old, Little League football. Nobody ever like called me like Tyshawn besides my stepmom.
And now that he has firmly established himself in the NFL as Debo, I don't think that we will see a change coming anytime soon.
I'm looking for that dude named Debo Samuels rocking my name. You tell him I've been here and I'm looking for him.
Now, just because he expected it to go away doesn't mean that he doesn't like Debo. In fact, he admitted it's kind of a cool name.
What's up, fam?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Did we surprise you?
You definitely did. I was like, what the world?
And based on the way that he has looked in the field during his first couple of NFL seasons, prepare to hear that name Debo in the airwaves for some time to come.
Is he worthy of being crowned Debo?
Shoot, he rocking that name for real. I'm ready to give him the bicycle. What's up, Red? Thanks for the bite.
Not too dissimilarly, Arizona Cardinals defensive back Budda Baker, who is widely renowned for not only being a solid football player but also having one of the coolest names in the NFL, also goes by a name that has no relation to his birth name.
I've known you now for 3 years, but I don't even know your real first name. So can you share with us what your first real name is?
Man, you want me to tell you my real name?
Yeah.
My government name? Like on my license?
Yes, it won't get you in trouble.
It's Bashard.
Bashard. Does anyone still call you that?
Nobody.
Not even mama?
Not even mom.
So how did you get the name Budda?
Oh man, when I was little, I was on the bigger side, and then my eyes, so they just call me Budda.
The Budda? But it's not spelled like the
No, it's not spelled like the Buddha, but they took out the H for, you know, respect of people who praise the real Buddha.
Okay, I like that. All right, so everyone calls you Budda since what age?
As long as I can remember, everyone has always called me Budda. My mom called me Bashar when I was younger, when
you got in trouble.
When I got in trouble, but that was it. Other than that, it was Budda.
In high school, people thought it was a Bashard and a Budda.
So two
So
different
they thought
people?
like, cause I ran track, so they thought like, you know, there was a football Budda and a track like Bashard.
Okay, so you can have like, that actually could be to your benefit. You know, you get in trouble and be like, no, that was Bashard.
My twin brother.
That was my evil twin brother.
Baker has really leaned into the whole Budda thing now too, so much so that he doesn't like to be called Bashard nowadays. Speaking of guys who hated their given names, look no further than Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Dak was actually born Rain Dakota Prescott, and yes, you say it like rain. According to a piece he did with the Dallas Morning News, he was never into being called Rain, just from the get-go. Immediate rejection. When I started off school, they would always call me Rainy or Riney or something. They'd be like, this is a girl's name. So I just always went by Dakota, but I was given Dak by birth. So my family's always called me Dak. Now that he's gotten older, Dak explained he feels that he has grown into his given name. He went as far to suggest that one day he might start going by Rain Dakota and skip the last name. As much as I appreciate the growth aspect and everything, I mean, I don't know that Rain Dakota is really a QB1 name, to be honest. But if he's happy, that's good. It sounds a little bit more like a stage name for a club dancer or something, you know what I'm saying? But hey, who am I to judge? He makes like $40 million. I don't. Dak is not the only NFL quarterback that uses their middle name, or some variation of it, instead of their given first name. In fact, there are quite a few notable quarterbacks that made the audible. Longtime Lions quarterback who is now with the Los Angeles Rams, Matthew Stafford, was actually born John Matthew Stafford. There isn't much out there as to what went into his decision to forego the name John, so it was likely a choice made very early on when he was a child. It was worth nothing though. Rumor has it that Stafford doesn't actually like even being called Matt, which nearly every sportscaster in America defaults to. Instead, his family calls him Matthew, which is what he prefers. Among the younger generation of quarterbacks we have seen climbing in the ranks in recent years, there's actually another middle namer that might surprise you. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's birth name was actually Derek Deshaun Watson. I'll be honest, this one really caught me off guard. You almost never hear his ties to the name Derek mentioned, which again, might be a good thing. Derek Watson sounds like a run-of-the-mill middle manager climbing the corporate ranks, not a Pro Bowl quarterback that can throw 5 touchdowns in any given Sunday. As it stands, Watson has all sorts of public relations and brand issues going on with the allegations against him, so maybe he should just go for a full rebranded Derek, and hope that people forget all the nasty accusations that Deshaun has been tied to in recent months. It isn't just the quarterbacks that we have seen roll with the middle name in lieu of their birth names though. Take Kansas City Chiefs speedster Mecole Hardman for example. The wide receiver and kick return specialist was actually born Kerry Mecole Hardman Jr. He didn't really have much of a choice but to go by Mecole either. His father was apparently a legend in the Georgia high school football world, and he, like his son, went by Mecole, so it was only natural for him to try and carry on the family name as best he could. Similarly, Chris Godwin, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers star receiver, was born Rod Christopher Godwin. But he, like Hardman, decided to go with a middle name instead. Not gonna lie, I kind of like Rod Godwin. That's kind of dope, actually. I don't know why I didn't go with that. But it doesn't seem like he had any deep family ties to the middle name like the Chiefs wideout. But he has been Chris since day one. Yeah, I definitely wish he went by the original name, but it's his choice. It's got a pretty electric ring to it. Rod Godwin. Rod Godwin. Godwin. Rod Godwin. I don't know, I like it. Nevertheless, the whole Chris thing has been working out pretty well for him so far. So maybe you should just stick with it. The last middle guy name on our list here is Raheem Mostert. He was born Dominic Raheem Mostert, which is a mouthful. As much fun as I had nitpicking everyone's names, I feel like this one is kind of a win-win. And I doubt Mostert has put too much thought into which name he goes by these days. After being cut by 6 teams before finally making his breakthrough onto an NFL roster, he's probably just content with where he's at. And finally, last but not least, we have Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins, who might have the coolest fake name on this entire list. T just works for a star receiver, but just because he has grown into the name and established himself as a promising young receiver in the league doesn't mean that it wasn't his birth name. He was actually born to Morris William Higgins, and his name just got shortened down to T somewhere. The only debate here is whether he should have gone harder on it and shortened it all the way down just to the letter T, which in my opinion, honestly, would have been pretty cool too. But T with 2 E's is pretty cool, it's fine. We've seen plenty of 2-letter guys in the league over the years, but a player with just a single letter for his first name, that would actually be pretty groundbreaking. Which was your favorite instance of a player using a fake name? Did we miss one? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, we're on everything. Go subscribe, go follow, go do all that. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click and we really appreciate it. And of course, subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day's a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knees.
Suggested that Tom Brady was at least generally aware. We get late details from NBC's Peter Alexander.
This video has been blowing up on the web over the last few days, causing NFL fans great anger after the Patriots upset the Jacksonville Jaguars to advance to the Super Bowl for the 10th time. If you look closely, this referee appears to be celebrating the touchdown with the Patriots when he should have been officiating the game. This video has fans crying foul and forced the league to finally acknowledge that the NFL games are sometimes fixed in order to drive revenue and ratings. Watch that again. This same referee congratulating Tom Brady after the upset. Not only did the video cause NFL fans to hemorrhage from their brains, it also caused uproar with the players. Denver Broncos star TJ Ward simply tweeted, "Rigged, shaking my head." The next morning, Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey confirms everyone's suspicions when he admits, "Coach told us in the middle of the 4th to give the game to New England. We didn't want to, but Commissioner said it's best for the league." Ramsey quickly deleted the tweet, but it seems it was already too late. Reports out of New York indicate that Roger Goodell has permanently banned Ramsey from the league in response to his tweet. In an interview this morning, Colin Cowherd grilled Goodell over the ban and asked if he had maybe taken things too far.
Is it realistic to say, listen, NFL, this is the one part of your content you're not going to be able to control. Lighten up on Twitter, NFL, and let the kids talk?
Well, we do. Obviously, we have a social media policy that is constantly changing. In fact, we made a lot of changes earlier this year. And yes, what we have is a technology that allows our players to have direct access to our fans, and it creates a unique opportunity. However, we also have obligations to our partners and our advertisers. And anything a player does to hinder that process, it won't be tolerated. So unfortunately, we had to let Mr. Ramsey go because what he did was a clear violation of that policy.
After his interview, Goodell held an emergency press conference acknowledging he made several mistakes and eventually admitted to having games rigged in order to create a super dynasty.
Over the past several weeks, we have seen all too much of the NFL doing wrong. That starts with me. I got it wrong I made a mistake, and I'm sorry for that.
What fans don't realize is that this press release only came out after WFKE News obtained an unreleased interview between former NFL referee Richard Ndabu and Jim Rome, where Ndabu admits to rigging games in order to not only drive up ratings and revenue, but also help him and his colleagues win bets.
You didn't just share information and help your buddies. You actually started to bet on the games.
Correct.
How did that happen? How come?
Just sitting at lunch with other referees and getting information to where, we were going to stick it to somebody that night.
One specific team Ndabu stuck it to was last year against the Buffalo Bills when he confessed in front of 80,000 Patriots fans that he was going to create a completely fake penalty against the Bills in order to offset a blown call in which he robbed the Patriots of a touchdown.
I totally blew that call. In fact, it wasn't even close. But don't worry, I'll penalize the other team for no good reason in the second half to even things up.
Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana was asked if this cheating has been a long-time practice in the NFL, and he responded.
Well, they always say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So they're trying hard.
Whether fans think this is funny or not, apparently this is the reality of pro football. When asked if he was going to have any discomfort in giving Tom Brady another Super Bowl trophy, Goodell likened the sport to professional wrestling.
I gotta ask you, you just gotta be as honest as you can. If you handed the trophy to Brady, wouldn't there be a little discomfort maybe because of all the talk and the narrative and the media and people say, would you be slightly uncomfortable for even a moment?
Not for a second. This is one of the great opportunities we have. The Patriots are an awesome team and have been gifted the opportunity to be there. They deserve it. So I'm definitely going to be thrilled. Tom Brady is one of the all-time greats. He has been for years. He's on the precipice of at least potentially winning his 6th Super Bowl ring. I mean, who am I kidding? Let's just be honest. They're going to win 37-32. He's definitely an extraordinary player, a great performer, and a surefire Hall of Famer. So it would be a great honor. And look, at the end of the day, we are here to provide entertainment to the fans. Nobody asked Vince McMahon if he felt uncomfortable for allowing The Undertaker to go on a 21 winning streak at WrestleMania because he knew he was creating an amazing legacy. So you don't see wrestlers going around calling the matches fake or rigged because at the end of the day, we're creating amazing stories that entertain people. And it should be no concern to anyone if we decide to allow Tom Brady to win the next 32 Super Bowls. We want him to walk away as a king. Period.
Coming to you live from New York with this exclusive satire parody news story, I'm I Shat on You, WFKE News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell in order to be notified when we release new stories. Unfortunately, we aren't able to earn much from our posts right now. If you enjoy our videos and would like to support us with just $1, please find us on patreon.com/satiredaily.
Doing today, man. First thing first, thank you for your love and your support. I highly appreciate it. Can't express it enough. Real talk, real shit. So anyways, y'all, I just want to take the time out today to say thank you to everybody for showing mad love and support. Since I first started my channel, it seems like today to date, I'm getting more support and more love, and I really do appreciate that. When I first started my channel, I got a lot of support, a lot of love, and then the bigger my channel got, the more views I got. I began to receive a lot of hatred, you know what I mean, a lot of jealousy, but it seems like today's date the tables have turned, and I just want to tell everybody I really appreciate that, so thank you very much. I'm aware that there's a lot of new people to my channel, so thank y'all for subbing, and just thank you for watching the video and sharing it, most importantly. The views are more important to me than the subs, but I appreciate each and every one of y'all, so I will be posting my older videos later today and on my second channel as well. So anyways, y'all want to get straight into it, man. Your boy Tom Brady. It's not a coincidence that he came back out of retirement. I mean, you know, the numbers don't lie. Okay, I wasn't surprised at all that he came back for his 23rd season. You know what I mean? 2 times 3 is 6. You know what I mean? If you, the way you look at it, you still get 666. which is satanic numbers. And the only reason why I'm bringing those numbers up is because your favorite athlete, your favorite rapper, actor, your favorite celebrity, they always doing the same thing, right? They throwing up 3 6s, they throwing up the one eye symbol, they behind brick walls, or they wearing orange. These are the obvious things that they're doing, right? Because the average person is not worried about taking a picture by a brick wall, showing one eye, throwing up 3 6s. You know what I mean? The average person is not doing these things. So this is how you can kind of like take that from a regular person, and you can tell like all the satanic stuff that they're doing. Okay, so what you're looking at is your boy Tom Brady. Okay, and I'm telling y'all, Tom Brady don't exist, man. This is not a real character. You know what I mean? And your favorite superstar, you know what I mean, is literally not a real person. And I came to the conclusion, too, by the way, there are real people in sports, okay? So everybody that's on the football team or basketball team, they're not all fake or robots. There are actual people, okay? It's these superstars, megastars, and all-stars, okay, like Tom Brady, okay? So you're looking at your boy Tom Brady, y'all, okay? So this is your boy Brian. And y'all may know him on the show Scandal. Okay, well, your boy Brian plays the role of Tom Brady. Now, before I get any deeper, let me just tell y'all that the first coincidence is not just the fact that these guys favor each other strongly, right, and look alike. It's more on the fact that the first thing is that your boy Brian Letchert went to school at University of Michigan, okay? And y'all already know your boy Tom Brady went to school at University of Michigan. What's also weird about it is that your boy Brian Letchert was a quarterback at the University of Michigan, and he also won a Rose Bowl at the University of Michigan. Well, y'all already know that Tom Brady played quarterback position at University of Michigan as well. So what's the chances, y'all, them both being quarterbacks, playing for the same college and look alike, right? Now, in case y'all didn't know, okay, like I told y'all, in case y'all didn't know, your boy Brian Letchert played on the show called Scandal. And if y'all don't know, he's a special agent named Tom. So what's the chances of, this guy? Okay, so here you go, y'all. Brian Letchert is an American actor best known as Secret Service Agent Tom. You see what I'm saying? And then he's in the show Scandal. And he doesn't have a big role, by the way. The role was getting bigger as the show went on. But if you think about it for what it is, they saying a scandal. They're pulling a scandal because we think Tom Brady is a real person that's actually doing these numbers and playing good, but he's behind an actor. Actor is playing him, okay? It's not a coincidence that this guy name is Tom and a TV show called Scandal, and he went to the same school that Tom Brady did, played the same position as Tom Brady did. What's the chances of that, right? Okay, this is Tom, y'all, on the show Scandal. And I want y'all to know that Tom has on a bodysuit. Now, if you go on Google and you look it up, he got this bodysuit made from just for the TV series. So supposedly the bodysuit that ABC Scandal gave for him, it wasn't enough. He said it was too tight. He was sweaty. So he went customized the bodysuit, right? That don't sound right. Okay, so what you're looking at right here is Tom Brady and his wife right here, right? So y'all already know that's a man. You know what I mean? There's no question about that's a man right there. Okay, but if you look at, where is it at? Where is that guy? Right here. If you look at Brian and his wife, she literally spot on, looks the same as Tom Brady's wife, minus the height. And I told y'all, inserts and high heels from women easily can put you up at height. If you go on Amazon right now, you spend it between $20 and $30 for inserts. And these inserts will get you all the way up to 10 inches tall. Okay. And they even have special shoes designed for inserts as well. You can use your average shoe that you use a day to put inserts in, but if you want more of a polished look where nobody can really tell, you'll buy these shoes as well. Okay, Tom Brady is 44 years old, y'all. Okay, and he's 6'4". Now, I looked everywhere, and people keep saying his birthday is in June 1989, but you can clearly see this guy is nowhere near 30. I mean, this guy definitely is in his 40s. Okay? And another thing is, too, right, this is Tom Brady's body right here, right? Now, you know, some might look at it like it's not bad for a guy that's in their 40s, you know what I'm saying? It's not bad, but the point is, Tom Brady been playing so long, and he's, you know, keeping in tip-top shape. You would think he have a better body than that, right? Now, this is Brian Letcher body right here. Now, y'all, I don't want to say trolls like I said or anything like that. I just want to say that not all of us can see the same thing, so I'm respecting everybody's opinion. But let me say my opinions. For me, this is just too obvious right here. I mean, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say the exact same, but it's not too many things. It's not different from that picture. Okay? Now, I know this might be hard for a lot of people, a lot of fans and stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? But sports is fake, y'all. You know what I mean? Sports is fake, you know what I mean? Me personally, from time to time, I bet because it's kind of easy to tell who's going to win the game. You know what I mean? It's kind of easy to tell who's about to win the game. I mean, we all knew the Rams was going to win. We all knew that the Buccaneers was going to lose. We knew that was coming because we knew that when TB12, when Tom Brady retired, he will retire at the top. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually plays with the 49ers. Okay? So, again, y'all, your boy Tom Brady is Brian Letcher, man. Okay? With that being said, y'all have a good night, man.